Hello, my name is Adam and I am the founder of gFam.live. But this session is all about learning, with using the tool gradu.al and also using the tool gFam Learn. So let me share my screen and I will go through the things that I want to talk about today. Let's do that. Awesome. So what I'm sharing at the moment is the gradu.al app that is developed by our friends at gradu.al. And I'm looking specifically at the Grant for the Web version or instance of this website. If you go to gradu.al, then you'll get to gradu.al, the website, where it's all about learning and creating sessions that help share knowledge and help people learn. The Grant for the Web specific instance of this website is all about learning about the concepts that Grant for the Web is really trying to share with the world. So things like web monetization and all that sort of stuff. So this gradu.al website is super good. I love it. I think it's a great idea. And really what it's about is joining up the people who want to learn a particular thing with the people that are happy to share their knowledge on a particular thing. So you can see down here, in terms of the community interests, we've got various topics that people are excited about to learn. Pop culture, how to start a web monetized site, how to promote my writing without feeling like a spammer, all that sort of stuff. And it links basically the people who have that knowledge with the people that want to learn those things. So from this, you can then create some sessions. So let me just click on the list. So you can see here, for web monetized tipping, we've got 4 people that are open to sharing their knowledge about web monetized tipping, and then 11 people who want to learn about it. So from this, we now know that, there are people that have the knowledge and there are people that want to learn the knowledge. So then gradu.al can work on creating a session so that people can learn the thing. And so this session here, web monetization earning, with tutorials on gFam Learn, is what I'm talking about right now. So yeah, there's been a bunch of sessions already. They've been great. Lots of sharing going on. And, the way that people learn different things, different ways. I know that I specifically learn a lot better from conversing and having conversation, listening about a topic than I do about reading. So when I'm reading something, I just don't really absorb that knowledge too well. But when I'm talking to someone, I absorb a lot more. It's a lot more interactive for me. I've got to think a lot more because, I'm listening to the person, I'm thinking of questions, I'm trying to figure it out. But if I want to learn something that's like a specific process, if I want to, learn a particular thing in a program, then for me, I've found that going through instructions step by step is a lot easier for me, because it means I can jump to, the thing, the thing that I want specifically answered. I can skip steps if they're not important to me. I can go step by step if I want to. And I usually find this is a lot better for me than, say, watching a video. Sometimes with watching a video, I find it too slow, or I can't find the specific bit that I'm interested in. And, sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating. The good thing about a video is that sometimes with written instructions, particularly with programs, I've found that a button might have moved, or a particular thing isn't covered. When people are creating tutorials, they might assume that you have some knowledge or assume that your computer is set up a particular way or whatever. And so sometimes with a video, you can often literally see someone click the button and you'd be like, oh, it's in that menu. So for some things, videos are great. For some things, written tutorials are great. And for some things, conversations are great. And so really gFam Learn wants to partner with Gradual to help facilitate different types of learning for different things. So, a session is super helpful for me in learning concepts. But when it comes to, following detailed instructions, then a tutorial is better. So yeah, I think with a lot of these sessions, they can also become tutorials, and maybe as part of the session, people go through the tutorial, or the tutorial is complementary to the session. So Web Monetization 101, that might be also a good tutorial, for example. So let me explain what gFam is, and what gFam Learn is, and the various things that gFam could work for people to learn. So gFam is a platform that allows creators to earn from their audience for their content. So if you think about Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Twitter, or any of the other more traditional social media, a lot of those platforms make a lot of money because they have advertising on those sites. So those sites would be nothing without the user-generated content. You're putting photos of your lunch on Instagram, or your auntie has got a story on Facebook about an event or something. These are great, but Facebook is making a lot of money off that content. And that's fine for when it's just the little things. But if you're putting a lot of effort into creating a video or creating content or creating tutorials, and then the platform is taking a lot of that money from you, in that you are building up a huge audience, you're generating a lot of income for those platforms, and they're only sharing a portion of that, then that's not so great. Like, we all know of stories of YouTubers that get demonetized, or people on TikTok have these huge viral videos and they don't get anything for it. So gFam is a way to try and rebalance things a little bit. I'm not sure if you've listened to a podcast or watched a video where the creator has to also talk about the sponsor or a brand that's helped, given them money to be able to provide the content to you, but the advertisement, the sponsor, kind of takes you out of the thing that you want to learn, or want to be entertained by. So it can be quite distracting and not ideal. So gFam is about trying to rebalance that by having your audience support you, instead of your audience buying a t-shirt or buying a product that is connected to you. They're paying you directly, and this can either be through tips or through web monetization. Web monetization is essentially a technology that allows a subscriber to be providing microtransactions directly to the creator of the content that they're consuming right at that moment. So let's go through some examples. So here is gFam. This is just the start of the application. And if we go to this post here, there is a lot of information. It's been curated very nicely. There's lots here, and you can see that my browser extension, and you can see down here that because I am a subscriber to Coil, so I'm paying $5 a month, $5 USD a month, to be able to support every creator that has a payment pointer, which are free to get. So every creator that has a payment pointer, I can then provide microtransactions to, just by spending time on their content. So a portion of my $5 that I pay per month is now going to Alan, who created this post. And you can see down here that while I'm consuming his content, while I'm enjoying what he's created, he's getting paid for that directly. So that's what gFam is all about. And then if I want to tip him, then I can tip the post, and he'll need his Sun wallet set up, and I've got my Sun wallet set up, and then I can tip him directly. And gFam, the platform, doesn't take any fees. There's no exchange rate fees. There's no international fees. Basically, Alan would get 100% of what I tip him, which is amazing. And there aren't many platforms that can say that, if any, maybe. So that's what gFam is all about. But what I wanted to go through today is gFam Learn. So gFam Learn is basically, to get to gFam Learn from gFam is you just go to gFam Learn in the menu, or gfam.live/learn. So what this is about is people, anyone with a gFam account can create a tutorial, and let's say a teacher creates a tutorial, and then a student can really pay that teacher for learning from their tutorial. So they can be paid either through tips or through web monetization. So if I don't know, let's learn how to do handstands. So oops, this went to a different one. So we want to learn to do makeup. So we can see here that this creator was tipped 10 XRP, but they're also receiving web monetization. So they're also receiving microtransactions for the time that I'm spending learning how to do Gothic makeup. So that's pretty exciting for a teacher. And yeah, so we're finding that, the community is really getting behind gFam Learn, and lots of different tutorials being made. So we're getting recipes, we're getting fitness things to do with artistic, digital endeavors, all that sort of stuff. We can see here that I created a pixel art tutorial myself. And, there's lots of different things, like we can put links in, we can put videos in, click this button, go over here, type this in, all that sort of stuff. We can get right down to the nitty gritty of how to create something. And here is a tutorial that I created on understanding web monetization. So, as a teacher, I am earning through web monetization while I'm teaching people about web monetization. And yeah, you can get very specific in here. So if I was to hold a session using gradu.al on web monetization, or web monetization 101, I could speak to people and we can have a conversation about it, or I could go through this tutorial, or the tutorial can be complementary to the session. So yeah, there's a lot that we can do with this. And, obviously, if you create a tutorial on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you're really hoping that it doesn't get demonetized, that enough of an audience checks it out. You've got to essentially, drive people to the video. And once you receive enough views, then you might become monetized. It's a whole thing, where on gFam, you can just throw up one tutorial, and then students who are interested in that, they can consume the tutorial for free if that's what you want, or you can gate it so that people can only consume it when they pay you. And then, yeah, you get paid directly for your very first tutorial. You don't have to drive a lot of traffic to that. There's no advertisers. You don't have to worry about being sponsored or anything like that. You can just get paid for the content, for the tutorial that people get value out of. So yeah, that's really how the gFam tutorials work. Excuse me. When I spoke about gating the content, so there's two different ways on gFam Learn that you can gate your content. So one of them is to gate it so that only people with a active Coil subscription can access your content. So that means that you have to get paid by subscribers to consume your content, to learn the lesson that you've created for them. So this is a way to make sure that teachers definitely do get paid. And then the other way that a lesson can be gated is through an XRP tip. So a teacher can put an amount, could be 5 XRP, could be 50 XRP, like whatever you want. And essentially the lesson is locked until someone pays that tipped amount, and then they can access the lesson, and then they can access it forever. But what that looks like is if I go, so this is just a normal gFam post that I put up about some sheep that I have. And so, there's some information in here. There's a bit of a link that I put in, and there's a photo. But if I was to try and access this with a browser that didn't have web monetization enabled, so this browser here, I don't have the Coil browser extension. So therefore it doesn't know that I have an active Coil membership. And so now I can't see that content. I only see blurry words. I can see, just the description. And then there's a message basically saying that you need to have an active Coil membership in order to consume this post. And so this is a way for creators to provide exclusive content to their diehard audience, the audience that is willing to pay for this content. And obviously there is potentially a cultural shift needed here. People are used to consuming content on social media for free, but we all know it's not for free. Obviously, there's algorithms that are trying to keep you on the platforms as much as possible. There's algorithms that try and enrage and confuse and engage you to make sure that you stay on the platform. You need to have advertiser-friendly content, or else your content gets demonetized. Misinformation gets boosted by these algorithms because they want to keep people on their platform. They want to keep people engaged purely to have more eyeballs hit their advertisers' content. These platforms don't necessarily care about like the content that's posted, and maybe they should, but really they just care about the advertisers getting the exposure that they want. And so they have all these algorithms, they track all this data, they sell a lot of your private data to third parties in order to make things better for the advertisers. So the cultural shift that we really need to make is for people to understand that they actually need to pay for the content that they enjoy consuming. Whether that's just a $5 subscription that helps you encourage or reward the creators across many different platforms through the Coil subscription and the Interledger protocol, or whether that's like tipping people directly to encourage them to create the content that you enjoy. But we kind of have to get away from thinking that we can just consume content for free, because it's not for free. And even though it seems like it's free, it's potentially, from a society point of view, maybe a lot worse for us than if we just paid out of our pockets to enjoy the content that we enjoy. So yeah, so that's what that looks like. On gFam, there also is other little things that we have. So we've got like a chat that is just for people with an account, and soon it will be just for people that have web monetization enabled. And it's really just, so people can chat and talk about things and ask questions and all that sort of stuff. But really, gFam Learn is to help teachers, make a living wage, to help them, be rewarded, be paid for the content that they've created. The site isn't slow. My computer is terribly slow at the moment. It's trying to upgrade. I picked a terrible time to do this session. But yeah, like you can, obviously there's lots of tutorials at the moment, and then you can pick the ones that you're interested in. So if you want to learn about web monetization, we have 3 tutorials currently about that. If you find that you are in a position where you can teach somebody something, then you can create a tutorial. And then hopefully other people will pay you for the value that you've added to their lives by teaching them a thing. So that's what gFam Learn is all about. That's hopefully where how we can have a bit of a cultural shift towards people paying for the content they consume. Obviously, students can pay for individual lessons on gFam Learn, as opposed to other platforms where you've got to purchase a whole course or you've got to purchase access to the whole site. Here you can just purchase, one particular lesson if that's the thing that you need, if there's just one little bit of knowledge, or teachers can have their lessons available for free and then just receive microtransactions from subscribers, basically thanking them for the effort they put in. It's really up to what works for the teachers and then hopefully what works for the students as well. So hopefully it's a win-win situation for everyone. But thank you very much for watching this session. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you on gFam or gFam Learn. Thank you very much.